Welcome everybody, let's move on with level A2. So level A2, unit 1, slide 2, and now we have this. Pronomes pessoais oblíquos. When I'm teaching Portuguese, I'm always saying to students that all these titles that sounds very technical, I really don't care much. I really don't care about these titles, to be honest with you. When I teach this language, I try to do it in a very simple way, and I try to keep it as simple as possible. And what really matters for me is to make sure that students can start speaking the language and they can be effective when they're speaking with someone. I really don't care if they can memorize that, for instance, this topic that we will discuss now, if they can memorize that, this topic, it's called pronomes pessoais oblíquos. So when I say para mim, this me, it's a pronoun pessoal oblíquo. Who cares? I really don't care at least. If you worry about that, good luck. I don't think that you should waste your energy with memorizing these topics. But let's move on. So what we have here, now we will introduce this kind of words, mean, T, and C. I'm sure that if you're doing level A2, or if you've been in Portugal for a while, I'm sure that you have been exposed to this already. So when you're going to a cafe, or when you're someone with a native speaker, Portuguese native speaker, I'm sure that you heard already this. Para mim é café e para ti. So para mim, para ti, por mim, por ti. It's something that we use all the time. And how does it work? So once again, if you're doing level A2, I'm sure that you're comfortable or at least okay with this concept of prepositions, right? We have here a few examples. We have the preposition de, em, para, por, sobre. So I'm not going to translate because the way like we use them, it really depends in which context you're using them. So there isn't one translation for each preposition. So I'm not going to try to do that because it would be a mistake. And what happens in Portuguese, just like in English, is that in English you wouldn't say para, you wouldn't say for I, right? For I, that doesn't work. You don't say for I, you say for me, right? So you don't use after the preposition for, you don't use the preposition, you don't use the personal pronoun I, right? You switch that for me. It's the same in Portuguese. So after a preposition, like I'm gonna pick para. Para eu, this doesn't work. So after a preposition, if you feel that you have to use eu, it's not eu that you have to use, it's mim. So para mim é café, right? Just like in English, say for me, it's a coffee. So this one is pretty much the same. And then the same logic for tu. So we don't say para tu, or we don't say em tu. No, we say para ti. Or if you say, or we would say em ti or de ti, right? So what's happening is that after a preposition, instead of using eu, we have to use mim. Instead of using tu, you have to use ti. Instead of using você, we have to use si. However, you're going to hear a lot of people using this incorrectly, especially with this personal pronoun. So people say this a lot, para você and em você. This is incorrect. At least in European Portuguese is incorrect. People from Brazil, they use this all the time, but it wouldn't be a big mistake for you to do this, to say para você, but if you go by the book, it's incorrect, okay? So instead of para você, the solution is para si, or de si, or em si, and I'm sure that you got the idea. Then, with all the other personal pronouns, we can use all the other personal pronouns after prepositions. As you can see here, isto é para mim, okay? So, para eu doesn't work. Instead of eu, we have me. Isto é para ti. This is the right solution because isto é para tu would be incorrect. Isto é para si. This is correct because isto é para você. If you go by the book, it's incorrect, but you're going to hear it a lot. So if you do that, it's not a big problem, in my opinion. But then it works, as you can see, we use, and you can use as well, and you should use as well, ele, ela, nós, and all the other personal pronouns after prepositions. So para ele it's correct, or de ele it's correct, Em, ele, it's correct, even though we combine these two words, but that's something that we can explore later. Or para nós, correct, para vocês, para os senhores, para as senhoras, para eles, para elas. So this is correct. In this case, we have as an example the preposition para, but instead of para, we can switch for de. De ele, it's correct. Or por ele, it's correct. Or em nós, or em vocês, or por eles, or sobre elas would be correct. Okay? So once again, to summarize, what we have here is after prepositions, we cannot use eu, tu, and você. Instead, we use mim, ti, and si. But then after prepositions, we can use all the other personal pronouns. Okay? Now, there is one preposition that is the preposition com that it works in a different way. So we combine the preposition com with personal pronouns. And I'm sure that once again, if you've been here, if you've been in Portugal for a while, or if you're doing level A2, I am sure that you have heard some of the words that you're going to check now. So the word comigo, I'm sure that you heard already. And comigo, it's the combination of com plus eu. So com eu, it's not correct. But if you're dealing with the preposition com, and then if you feel that it makes sense to use the personal pronoun eu, what you should do is you should combine com plus eu or com plus me, as you prefer, and we'll get a new word from there. So we'll get comigo. Comigo means with me, okay? Com tu, if you feel that after the preposition com, you want to use the word tu, the personal pronoun tu, what you have to do is you have to combine. So com tu, what we do? We combine and we get contigo. So eu vou contigo. I will go with you. Tu vens comigo? Will you come with me? So comigo, contigo. And then again, we don't combine com with ele. So we keep it separated. So we have com ele, com ela, and then again, we combine com plus você, or com plus si, as you want. And what we get consigo. So we have comigo, contigo, contigo it's informal, right? And consigo is like with you, but formal. And then com plus nós, what we do? We combine, and we get a new word that is conosco. Com plus eles, we don't combine. So com eles, com elas, again, the same logic. We don't combine com plus elas. And then with vocês, we have two options. Com vocês, it's correct. If you keep it separated, it's correct. Or if you want to combine, you will get convosco, like with you, plural. And this is also correct. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed. And thank you for watching.